The charges against Diddy are in, and they are shocking, particularly the admission of the freakoffs. We got to discuss, guys. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We just had two-hour lives. So grateful to It's Kim, Louis Lecca, and Christopher Melcher. We broke it down. You can watch the full live, but I wanted to give a part two as we were watching live. The attorney, the FBI, the United States side of this case, did something I just didn't expect was going to happen, to be honest, which was confirming the freakoffs. We've been hearing about this. It's gotten this sort of seemingly silly, mentioning Carl Winslow and others, and it started getting, I think a lot of us sort of just were desensitized to this idea that this could be real. And not only does it seem to be real, but there's evidence. There is video of it. There's witness testimony, text messages. Here we have him live in this press conference saying the word freak off, which is just crazy that we're in this place, that this has now become such a serious thing. And I wanted to take a moment to show you how serious it is so we can really begin to get into the depths of this case, because to me, this was the most shocking one of many, obviously, but the most shocking to sort of see come true, because I think this is going to have serious ramifications throughout the industry, throughout Hollywood, of people right now who are worried, what did I do when I was drunk at that Diddy party? So here he is literally saying
some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines.
Now he's referring there to the male and female, but made a point to say both workers, specific types of workers. Pardon my speaking in code to make sure this gets more widely shared, but acknowledging that they are speaking to those workers and that they were transferred across state and international lines.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex
the ex parties
performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them.
Right there, I'm just in floored shock. Now, if you go through these declarations that we've gone through, more details come out than what he even said in there. And this declaration came in to basically try to make sure he doesn't get bail, which at time of taping, we're still waiting. It's about to be figured out if he is. Diddy's trying to get it bail for $50 million by putting his Miami mansion up for sale as collateral. But they talk about this in detail. He would lure these females in to his orbit on romantic relationships, and then coerce them to engage in these freak-offs with male workers, commercial workers. Again, I can't really have it on screen much longer, but these were elaborate performances that the defendant arranged, directed, and how do I say this, guys? Took care of himself, personally, during which, and often electronically recorded. These occurred regularly from at least in or around 2009 through this year, sometimes lasted multiple days, and frequently involved multiple workers. Defendants have arranged these with the assistance of members of what they call the Combs Enterprise. Like, these guys are like the Sopranos, guys. It's like what they're breaking down, the amount of just stuff that was happening behind the scenes to allow this operation to continue. Employees of the business, the hotel rooms where they were staged, where there was damages, they would have to then give them IV treatments. After these freak-offs, the females, they could continue, would engage despite fatigue, physical, emotional exhaustion, and pain, and they were given IV fluids afterwards because it was that intense, along with other substances that allowed them to not even know that was going on. Now, this isn't really new. We've heard about this through lawsuits, but to see now the FBI, the United States government, now ready to present, this is here. Oh, and by the way, it's on video. We have it on video. Kim, I don't even know if you caught this now that you're back. We all watched this footage in horror, and I can't really play it, but I will show you her walking down the hallway. The declaration reveals she was exiting a freak-off.
Yes.
That's what this just revealed as we were in here. So I got to be careful what I can show you here, because this tape specifically is just not okay. But here it is as Diddy's running down in his towel. It all makes more sense. It all makes more sense what she was trying to exit out of. And they talk about it in this. She was exiting out of that situation. And that's when what you watched occurred. They go on to explain how the hotel staff at first didn't want to, was not going to cover things up, refused to delete it and accept the money. And then Combs went to other entities at the hotel, and surprise, surprise, after a little while, mysteriously deleted itself off of the hotel servers. So the more and more we learn in this, the more just scary and just horrifying it is to know that these things were happening. To hear that it's all on record as they go through here in their reasonings for why he shouldn't get bail, not to mention the arms that he has with the serial numbers, written off. They go in here in detail, talk about the dangerousness, everything else, the obstruction that he's been doing. While Cassie's lawsuit came out, the amount of times he was calling, it seems like her, but other people, to try to shut them up, to scare them, to record them by saying, you knew what you were doing. It was all consensual. How these videos of the freakoffs were then used to remind people not to do this stuff. It is horrifying what we're learning here. The weight of the evidence as they proceed to go through is staggering as they're claiming. Now, again, Diddy is innocent till proven guilty. To me, he's guilty based off that videotape we saw. But they mentioned that they've now done interviews with over 50 victims and witnesses who've witnessed this firsthand. Witnesses can corroborate one another. Their accounts are similarly consistent with the types of evidence that's discussed in all the documents. Electronic evidence is similarly vast. Government has sought and obtained numerous search warrants for evidence, obtaining evidence voluntarily from certain victims and witnesses, setting aside devices seized in connection with the defendant's arrest. Government's obtained over 90 cell phones, laptops, cloud storage accounts, as well as over 30 other electronic storage devices, such as hard drives, thumb drives, cameras, and surveillance, a whole surveillance system. This electronic data comes from the defendant himself, as well as co-conspirators, victims, and witnesses, and chronicles much of the defendant's criminal activity as it occurs. Evidence also consists of physical evidence seized pursuant, and this is where things get shocking. In addition to the arms and electronics discussed, it includes evidence of the freakoffs, which includes over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricants. This is sickening. Now, all this evidence was obtained pursuant to 300 grand jury subpoenas. So this is no joke. These materials come from over 100 entities and individuals, including communications providers, tech companies, social media companies, banks, other financial institutions. They're making it clear we've gotten all the phones, we've gotten all the medical or banking things. They've gotten those subpoenas, over 300, to get all this detail, to corroborate it, to confirm it. And it is shocking to me. It is shocking because I just figured no idiot, even as evil as he is, would be so stupid to keep all this still after all that stuff, especially after Cassie's lawsuit. This guy was so confident, so thought too big to fail, they're never going to catch me, I'm Diddy, that they were able to actually secure some of this, it seems, after that raid, which again, I kind of was giving him the benefit of the doubt that if he was this evil Sopranos, Scarface type of guy, that he would have destroyed the evidence. But no, this bozo, thank goodness, was keeping this evidence. We talked about it before, Kim, but it's almost like I think of that show Dexter, where he had to keep the slides, and it's sort of to his detriment. Spoiler to the show, but he had to keep like one little thing of all of the people that he was saving. And granted, Dexter was like killing bad people, right? But still, I guess when you are that level of crazy and evil, you can't just shred it. And he couldn't, and he didn't. And so he kept all this material that he used to coerce and destroy lives and just to continue his power trips. And it's shocking to see it come out of the actual attorney's mouth. I personally find it incredibly hard to believe that they would do all this, put it all out there, and talk about freak-offs if they didn't have enough evidence to back it up. Kim, what are your thoughts? You've been covering this a while. Are you equally as shocked to see it now finally come into light like this?
I am. There is a level for me that is shocked that we have finally gotten to this point. It's been a long time coming, and there's been a few things I've heard today that have surprised me, but for the most part, it is consistent with what we have read in these civil lawsuits. And I go back to Cassie. And I remember when she filed that lawsuit, and the first thing I thought of when I finished reading that whole lawsuit was who in their right mind would admit to these things if they were lies? Who would put themselves on the line like this? And all of the things that Cassie revealed being so horrific. She has to be telling the truth. And then as more things started to come out, we heard about Kid Cudi and his car. We heard about other allegations. Then the tape came out, and everything that Cassie has said so far, as the evidence has come out, things have been confirmed. And here we are today with this indictment where Diddy is very likely going to have to be held accountable for what he has done, and justice will hopefully be served. It is a very sobering moment, and I am happy that we are here. I'm not happy that it happened, like all the things that have brought us to this point, but I am happy to see the system working and showing that no one is above the law.
Yeah, well said. And it's just it's crazy to see it. They're because we've all talked about it. I think we all saw this coming. I think a lot of people have been scared, but here it is in black and white, videos of the freakoffs. It's all there. They had the records of it, the travel, the people they were bringing in, the workers, etc. Now it doesn't mean that everything we've heard about freakoffs, such as Carl Winslow, I'm going to assume he's good, Kim. I hope he's good. I like him a lot. But it does start to realize there's clearly a lot more to this dark web that it's going to start getting exposed potentially. At the same time, it is frustrating to hear that I got to be careful how I say this word, Jeffy, you know, I'm talking about J.E.,
yes.
the man, the same team apparently was going after him. And that's when he suddenly, the cameras aren't working. Like, this gets me nervous. Is there going to be a similar type of cover up here? If there is, I'm going to lose my mind. This guy absolutely is a flight risk, in my opinion. And going through this, I think they do a very good job. Other people in our chat saying, well, it's not murder, so it shouldn't be that bad. But I don't know, man. I think he has every reason now with these things coming out here to not want to be here and to flee this. He's trying to say, well, 50 million. I mean, that says a lot too, that he's willing to put that much down, almost ready to go. We will find out later this afternoon whether the judge accepts that, whether they keep him in or out of this. He's in prison, it sounds like, federal lockup. Will he be there till trial, or will he get out and be on house arrest? Will he try to leave? He tries to make a plea that, well, I'm selling my plane, I've given you my passport, but a man who's worth allegedly $1 billion can find a way to get out. Would you not agree, Kim and Lewis?
I don't know if he's going to find a way out. I think there's a lot of reasons that the government has put forth in that document as to why he should not be released on bail. And I personally agree with them. And I look at someone like Diddy and I start to ask myself, what is he capable of? Because I didn't think he would be capable of going this far when I started investigating in this story and I started really looking at it and following it. This man, I struggle to call him man because I don't see human in him as I read these lawsuits and I see what he has done. People like that, never underestimate them, and I don't think he should be getting out.
Well, also, just a lot of people were asking, I'll get you a final thought, Lewis, but just it will not be televised. Criminal cases in New York do not get televised. So those courtroom seats will be a hot ticket. We'll do our best to try to see if we can get someone there or see what we can do. It will be in New York, not in L.A., frustratingly. I don't know how that's allowed. All these trials should be televised so we can keep track of them, but it is. Lewis, final thoughts from you?
Yeah, we pay for the justice system. We should be able to watch it. We're going to learn a lot about it, in my opinion. And, you know, question, are the workers, you know, the S workers, are they guilty too? Are they going to be considered guilty? That's something that we're going to have to look into because they did perform the act, even though they were bribed
under
to
duress.
or whatever.
They were under duress.
They were under duress, and some of them were likely, I mean, we know many of them were given substances essentially against their will so that they would be compliant. And at that point, I had trouble
probably admitting,
prosecuting.
right, they did wrong, but giving up their, you know, they're going to rat them out to do so. And honestly, okay, I'll give them that. I'll give them that permission given the circumstance. So
that industry's, by the way, illegal if they're American. But anyways, listen, here's the deal. I don't really think the justice system worked. I know people think today it did, but apparently this has been going on since the late 90s. What the hell? And we also know that it was a joke. People, you know, even Marlon Wayans, I love him, okay? But his comment about leaving the parties early because he didn't want to get in trouble. Listen, that means you knew, bro. You know what I mean? Why was that let go? And again, here's the issue with Weinstein, all right? The only reason Hollywood got pissed off at that guy is because the victims were one of them, Hollywood people. With this, it's civilians, regular people that aren't that popular, don't have money, that it looks like, right? So no one cared. All right. No one cared until now. So the mere fact that it was an inside thing, everyone knew these parties were happening for so many years, and it was let go for so many years, allowing possible more victims, the possibility of more victims. That's a big fail, in my opinion. So that's all.
Well, I do want to let everybody know that Kim and Lewis will both be here helping this week, but I'm going to be in London this week. Ooh! If you're in the UK area, just to plug one more time, make sure to join me over at the Hoop and Toy in Kensington. We'll be there around 3:30, and then I'll be there until 7. Details are on my social. You can go to my Instagram or my Twitter. You'll see the information, but excited to be back there in London. I'll be here throughout this week, though, but in the meanwhile, if breaking news comes, these two will help keep you posted on this story and so much more. And I've banked some really good videos in the meanwhile. We got an expose on Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. What? Yeah, it's an exclusive, a new book that's coming out, and you're going to hear it here first, among other things. So lots to talk about, and some big channel news I'm excited to present to you. So I hope you'll be sticking to. Make sure if you haven't already, you just hit that subscribe button and then become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell. Hit the all alerts and then smash the thumbs up and leave your comments down below. That's what you do when you get those notifications, and do it to my friend It's Kim there on the right. Go to YouTube, It's Kim, and also Nerd Report with Lewis. Support them both. Subscribe. We will be keeping you posted on this topic. Bye, everybody.